Ashland Day's always been about having a good time.
Well, it was good. The squeezing hole was the best. You have to like squeeze through a little hole. It's really fun.
And you were able to wiggle through?
Yeah. Then there was a big rock wall which you have to climb up, and the fun slide is sliding.
And it's not just the little ones who enjoy the end of summer ritual. Reconnecting with others continues to be the big draw for many adults.
It's fabulous. We look forward to it so much. My children, my husband, it's like the one time where you run into people you haven't seen in years. It's definitely grown from when we first came. There's so many more events and things for the kids to do, and they look forward to it so much. If we happen, I think last year it was rained out, they were disappointed, and one other year in 17 years we were out of town, and they were just like, it's the one day they look forward to. It's a lot of fun.
And part of it for me is just meeting people I haven't seen in a long time. Sometimes I meet people here once a year. This is the only time I see them. And people like you.
Ashland Day makes possible that chance encounter with, in my case, my 6th grade art teacher, or for others, a chance to meet new neighbors. Ben Montenegro, one of Ashland Day's founders, says that's the whole point.
And I said, this is what Ashland needs, something to bring people together. So we sat down and we formed a committee, and we started Ashland Day, and Isabel, and a great many people were on that. Joe Magnani, and all of them. So they were all an intricate part of making Ashland what it is.
Well, I'm sitting on top of the world. Roll along, because
it's like anything. This is a great tradition, and what we need is people. So if people can step forward and just volunteer a little bit of time, and if anybody would love to step forward and volunteer to seek, the fundraising is one of the big pieces. I think a lot of what goes on here is all the groups coming together on the day itself, but in the beginning it's the planning and the fundraising. So if people are good at that, they don't mind asking people for a little bit of money here and there, I think that's what's really needed to keep this going. This is a great event.
In order for Ashland Day to be a smashing success, it takes about $24,000 to $28,000. Most of that money comes from community donations, but when last year's storms caused organizers to cancel the festivities, $14,000 in contracts was lost.
I think it's based on volunteers. We need the right people in place to continue this great day that Ashland puts on. I mean, financially, as you know, this year things aren't as good. We don't have the fireworks this year, and so we need definitely support from the community. So I think, as you can see, we do have the support from the community. We just need the financial support.
The people that have served on this committee have done a noble job bringing it together, even with the adversity of last year being rained out. And I think that if we can get some new people to help them, this will go on for years.
This year, inflatables may have replaced rides and casual mingling with friends the spark of fireworks. But event organizers say cutting back today is better than not letting the show go on. And in the future, the day may take on a whole new modified family fun stance.
One of the things with the rides, the mechanical rides, because of the state law and the incidents that have happened with the mechanical rides in the past and people were injured, we opted not to do the mechanical rides this year, and that saved us a little bit of money. And we have the inflatables. And discussion came up about making it more of a fair type day, having the three-legged race, the egg toss, and those type of games for the kids. So we're going to entertain if we get new blood on the committee, and that's what we're hoping for, to have new people come in, join the older folks that are on the committee, give us a break. I don't think any of us really want to leave. I mean, we're so entrenched in it now, but if we get the right people on the committee to take over and do what what Ashland Day is all about and to keep the tradition going, we don't mind handing it over to other people that'll keep that traditional, in the irons, but make it more of a fair type of an event.
One thing that's likely to stay the same is the day's commitment to recognizing outstanding individuals. Taking top honors for the day's Grand Marshal, Richard Demert, a Korean War vet. He spent the last 8 years as a veterans agent, 24 on the town's Board of Assessors, 23 as a selectman, and was active in Ashland's American Legion and Veterans of Foreign Wars posts. Another Ashland citizen who's helped the town grow, that's Joe Magnani.
You-know-what later about this, but congratulations, Joe.
Bill Gaff, did you have a few words to say?
Magnani served as a police officer, detective, dare officer, and holiday tree lighter for years. A member of the Ashland Day Committee, he graciously accepted the 2005 Citizen of the Year award despite having voted for someone else.
I was extremely surprised. I didn't realize when they were talking about Joe. See, the first nomination was Joe Norton, who lives in town, and he's a great guy. And I know your dad knew Joe. He was a Knights of Columbus member, one of the charter members and everything. He's done an awful lot for the town. And his name was brought up in a letter that was as a nomination. So we said, okay, Joe Norton's a great pick, and so we all voted to have Joe Norton as the Citizen of the Year. When I have...
Or so you thought.
So I thought. And then the next thing I know, apparently, unbeknown to me, during that same meeting, there was another ballot going around with my name on it, and they chose me instead. And, I think Joe is just as deserving, so today I accept it on behalf of all those that are just as deserving.
In the end, giving back is ultimately what Ashland Day is about, so there's a place, a day, a time to connect for Ashland's generations to come. For Ashland Day 2005 and WACA-TV, I'm Francesca Maxime.
Good morning. This is Police Chief Roy Melnick on Route 126 at the Shaw's Plaza. We're collecting donations on behalf of Hurricane Katrina victims. We're down at Shaw's now. It's Sunday. The time is 10 o'clock. We've been taking donations all morning. As you can see, we have volunteers in the background that consist of regular citizens, police, fire personnel, and volunteers from Tri-State Trucking, as well as A Auto Body. We're loading up 2 tractor trailers, as you can see in the background, with food, non-perishable foods, water. And we're asking people to come on down and donate to this worthy cause. These 2 trucks will be driven tonight down to staging point for Operation Blessing down in Ocala, Florida. From that point on, they'll be loaded onto boats, and then they'll be brought by seacoast, by waterways up to Louisiana, up through New Orleans. So hopefully we'll get these tractor trailers on the road tonight. You want to walk through? You can see we're packaging water bottles on pallets, putting diapers where diapers are, baby food, dog food, canned goods, trying to separate it and then make an inventory so that when everything goes down there, it'll all be inventoried. And just taping them, getting them ready. We sort of have like an assembly line going. Some people are taking donations, some people are sorting donations, and then others are preparing the boxes, others are loading the boxes, and then others are loading them onto the tractor trailers. And what we have is 2 tractor trailers. Our sign up here, Katrina Hurricane Relief Fund, Water and Food Drive. Ashland, Mass, sponsored by A-Body, Tri-State Truck Repair, Ashland Police Department, and Ashland Fire Department. These are some of our resident volunteers. These are some of our National Guard soldiers that have come down, volunteered their day today. Some of the police officers and some just average residents that came down. We have police officers on duty, off duty. We have firefighters on duty, off duty. Larry, Isaac, organizer of the events, right over here at the table.
Okay, what I'm doing is I got hooked up with Operation Blessing out of Virginia. They have a drop-off center for distribution in Ocala, Florida. So everything here is going to be shipped straight to Ocala. They'll then break it down and bring it to the communities, I assume Mississippi and Alabama. The whole idea was going after the small communities, the small people that don't have access right now to the Red Cross. They can't wait for food, whether it's going to a hurricane site or whatever. But there's too many people that are looking for food and water, so I wasn't going to wait for the Red Cross to make a decision. Because when I originally called them, they only wanted money, and I refused to do that. I kept going along with this, and I found a relief agency that was looking for food and water, which is what I did. And at first they were hesitant because they're like, well, we don't have trucks to get it down there. I said, you don't have to. I'm delivering it. Where do you want it to go? So they're all set in Ocala. Hopefully it's there by Wednesday, and then it hits the road to people that need it. And that's pretty much where we stand on this right now.
Hello. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Police Chief Roy Melnick, and I'm here to follow up on the success that we had with the Hurricane KATRINA relief fundraiser we did on last Sunday, September 4th. With me is Larry Isaac. He was the organizer of the event that partnered with the police department, fire department, and also Kevin Holmes from Tri-State Trucking. Just wanted to report to the community that it was a great success. We loaded up 2 tractor trailers. One tractor trailer was full of 3/4 water, approximately 10,000 bottles of water, and one-fourth of the trailer was food, and the second tractor trailer was completely filled with food. How many people do you estimate showed up for our event on Sunday to help load the trucks and collect the food?
I'm going to say probably in the beginning when we were the busiest, there were probably between 30 to 50 people that showed up. The outpouring of help was absolutely amazing. I didn't expect anywhere near the amount of people or the amount of time that people spent actually helping to load. I mean, there were people like Tommy Brooks, who owns Ace Screen Printing, who spent a good part of the day in the trailer with a pallet jack moving around all the pallets of food. I know that Billy Foster from the police department also was there all day. Tammy, who's the dispatcher. Elena, who was also patrolman for the town of Ashland. It was just incredible, like I said, how much time people actually stayed to do it. I mean, I know this one family came in, and I never got their name, but it was a husband and a wife, I believe 3 children, and they basically spent the whole day there as an activity for the whole family to do. Even to the point where when people were making donations, I had a couple of kids come up and give me their baggies full of coins that they took out of their savings bank, because everybody seemed to want to help. It was just, the outcome was just mind-boggling how well people and how much people actually wanted to help what was going on down there.
Well, I know that during the time that I was there helping to collect food and money and load the boxes, we had private citizens or residents just come up and ask, do you mind if I, in addition to my donation, if I stay, if I can help load boxes? And it was just amazing. People would say, I'd like to stay a couple hours, and they actually pitched right in and loaded the boxes, helped organize, putting similar products in similar boxes, market them so that we could load them onto the trucks. I also remember people coming up, giving cash for the drivers, because even though Kevin Holmes donated the trucks, it's still very expensive to drive from here to Florida or Mississippi, Louisiana, and back. And I think you said earlier it was going to be probably $5,000 in fuel costs?
It was, I figured, around $5,000 in fuel cost, and we had raised, by the time we left, we probably had collected probably $3,500, $3,600 towards fuel, which there again, I had never expected it. I had one supplier who I buy all my product from, my paint materials, which is Mike Corn, that owns J&R Auto Body Supply in Framingham. They made a $1,000 donation for fuel, which was just incredible. We had a woman call up on Friday night that bought $1,000 worth of water from Shaw's on a credit card and left it for us to pick up on Sunday. And we had people that came in from all over the state. I mean, people came in from Plymouth. We had people come in from Leominster to make the donation. I don't know if it's because there was nothing else around or we were the first one to do it, but to have people travel that distance to make a donation really shows that the people in New England actually do want to help. And there again, anybody that's around should want to help. I mean, if you can sit home on TV, sit home and watch TV in your living room with something to drink and electricity and your AC on, you're watching on what's going on down there. It's just not right. You know, that's the reason why I got involved. I mean, I have everything I need up here and they have nothing. I just couldn't imagine leaving that area with just the clothes on my back and, you know, maybe some money in my pocket, and that's all you own. And to spend your whole life to do something and live in an area and that's all you can walk away with is just, it's just not right. I mean, people should be out helping. There's no reason why everybody in this country can't help to solve this problem, because it's just too much.
I know we had a local outpouring of businesses during that Sunday when we collected products. Perhaps you can recognize a few of those businesses that showed up. They donated food, supplies. Shaw's was a great help. They gave us the parking lot to use, and they actually, I think you told me earlier today, that they ordered an extra supply of water to have on hand when you called them earlier and set up the event, so that they didn't run out of water. Perhaps you could recognize some of those.
Okay, I know that there again, Shaw's, like the chief said, allowed us to put the trailers on their property, which was a very convenient location right on 126. Got Kevin from Tri-State Trucking, who donated 2 tractors and drivers. Dave Eagle, who owns Eagle Leasing in Southborough, donated 2 trailers for us to use. We had Allied Van Lines out of Clinton give us boxes and packing tape. Everybody that I called that I was looking for something came up with donations. I know Tommy Brooks, there again, came up with donations. To try to come up with everybody that donated would be tough because the list gets smaller and smaller, but it didn't matter how small the gift was, everything counted, you know. Every little bit, and when they say helps, they weren't kidding. Every little bit did help in this situation.
I know we had some local businesses provide food and water. Perhaps you could recognize a few of those.
We had Papagino's up in Pond Plaza brought us lunch, McDonald's, and I also had one other pizza place, and I'm not really sure who it was because all I saw was a pizza and not a bag. So whatever the third place was, thank you for the pepperoni pizzas, but there again, I'm not really sure who gave it to us, but we ate it.
And I do know what you mean about children were coming up with little plastic bags with their coins and dollar bills in there, because I remember bringing a nice little girl, probably 5 years old, over to you, and she pulled out a little paper bag. It looked like it had maybe 3 $1 bills, a couple of quarters, a bunch of pennies, nickels, and dimes. And I remember her coming up to you, and then she handed you that little bag. That was heartwarming.
When you see little kids that want to help to that degree, where they're going to go in and take whatever change, whatever money that they have in a savings account or a piggy bank and bring it to us because they wanted to help, is really the best part of it all. I mean, it just shows that everybody did want to help. I mean, it doesn't matter how old or how young you were. Everybody felt that it was something that should be done. In my office, I do have a jar that one of the people is using to collect coins in that says Operation Katrina, which is now going to be on my desk, and I will keep this forever, only because to show what people actually want to do and how people actually felt, that they felt this much of a need, that they, any way possible to help, they did.
Yes, and I know I was there taking, people would drive up and donate cash. I remember one gentleman walked up and he handed me a $100 bill, said give this to the drivers for fuel money. And I asked for his name. I tried to take everybody's name, and a lot of people just anonymously, here's a $20, here's a $10, and a lot of people gave their names as well. We wanted all their names so we could do some type of recognition.
It was a total effort all the way around, and everybody did what they were supposed to do, which was nice.
Getting on to another subject, I know one of my officers, Alina Downey, she's touched by this very closely because her brother is a police officer just in a small town just outside of New Orleans. And in fact, they're in the process now of trying to relocate up here to ASHLAND. Alina's, she told me a little bit about her brother. He went into work to try to help save others, left his wife in the house, and they have a 6-month-old, and he actually gave her a gun to protect herself. And she actually had to not shoot anybody, but she had to pull the gun out to keep looters from actually entering their house, because they did have a little generator that was running, keeping up their power. But I know that she's touched by it. A lot of the members of the police department pitched in. We had over 15 volunteers from the police department. We had the same number from the fire department, a lot of private citizens. And actually, one of my dispatchers came to me yesterday and asked if she could have permission there's an organization that she wanted to go down with. They're going to be down there for 14 days. And I preliminarily approved it. I'm going to run it by the town manager. If he says the okay, I'm going to excuse her for a 14-day period, let her go down and provide a little assistance, and then we'll pitch in with other people that are on duty, so it won't cost the town any money to replace her. And it's just nice the way that everybody's pitching in.
It's kind of sad, though, that it takes something of this magnitude to actually bring people to come out to want to help. What is being done now, a fair amount of it probably could be done all year long, and it wouldn't hurt people either. But, you know, if this is what it takes to get people to want to help, it's good and it's bad, because it's kind of sad, like I said, that it has to take something of this magnitude to make people want to come out and help. but at least they want to help. It's not like everybody's waiting or blaming, let the next guy do it. You know, everybody wants a piece, everybody wants to help, they don't want to be on the sideline. Which, like I said, on something of this size, it's good that everybody wants to get involved, because that's what it's going to take to try to resolve the problems down there and the future problems that's going to happen.
Well, I would just like to thank members of my police department that volunteered their time, and the residents and citizens that also came out, and the outpouring of donations that we received in the form of water, cash, and food, and all the businesses that just came out and gave us a great hand. It's just great that the officers, the firemen, and local businesses like Larry and Kevin Holmes from Tri-State are there for us. Perhaps if you have anything else you want to say, Larry, we can...
Well, I have one thing to say, and I promised a certain person I would do this, and this goes to Kevin Holmes. Kevin, I promise you I'll lose your phone number, never call you again. And that's as far as we'll go with this one.
Okay.
Thank you very much for everybody that helped.
Well, thank you, Ashland, and everybody that came from all over the state for that outpouring of donations. We really appreciate it, and thank everybody personally from my heart for coming out and donating your time, money, and efforts. Thank you.